Hey everyone, Tony D with many hot takes today. First up, let's talk about ObamaGate. Um, you might have heard about this being bandied around, and the immediate reaction from most of the media has been, oh my gosh, Trump and his crazy conspiracy theories. Well, we all know how crazy Trump is, right? Yeah. The guy's been right. Like, he's been on a roll for the last 3, 4 years. He's made every call like almost exact. You really going to against Trump on this one, huh? Now, if Trump came out and said Obama's going to be in jail, well, yeah, that is not going to happen. There'd be people who would rather die and would rather go to jail themselves than to see Obama go to jail. I mean, part of it is the idea that presidents in general commit crimes. Our entire justice system has gotten so top heavy with laws that everyone really commits a lot of crimes. In your day-to-day life, you probably commit 3 or 4 crimes every single day. It's just that you're never arrested and prosecuted for them because we have too many laws and they're selectively enforced. It's kind of like it's almost like tyranny by selectivity. So you can afford to disobey a lot of laws the richer you are, essentially. And that kind of mindset is definitely in the offices of power because, first off, a guy like Obama can pull the strings of the judicial system pretty good. And so can Trump. I mean, anybody in that position of power. But beyond that, there's this idea that the presidency is too important, right? Even when Nixon was being indicted, they said, we really don't want to put you in jail. How will that look to other countries, a president sitting in jail? Of course, when you look back on it, imagine if Nixon had gone to prison. Imagine if he actually had a trial, he was convicted, and went to prison. Why would we do that? Why would that be better in the long run? For the same reason that we punish regular criminals. Because other criminals see that and go, ooh, I'm not going to do that. People who think about committing crimes go, nope, I'm not doing that. They'll put me in jail. I'm not going to end up like him. That's why you do it. But unfortunately, everybody is human, including the people in power. And they think, just like most of all of us do, that, well, I'm not that bad. When I do it, I'm doing it for a good reason. It's not that I don't have a disdain for the law. It's just that, when I do it, it's different. That's the way everybody thinks, I think. So, did Obama know that his guys were basically tuning up Flynn and causing problems for Trump? I think he probably didn't have all the details, and he probably wasn't directing it, at least directly, but he certainly knew. He knew, see, he's a lawyer, and he knows how to know things, right? So he can't directly ask you. You can't directly tell them. And the people in his inner circle understand how that dance works. So if he said something like, well, how's the investigation going? He hasn't said the Flynn investigation or the Trump investigation. He's just said the investigation. And then someone says something like, well, sir, the person responsible is starting to feel the heat, we think. See, like, even if you had a transcript of that, what are you going to tie it to? But I think down the road, when we get transcripts of Obama's presidency, and some of these transcripts will come to light eventually, you'll see that sort of mindset eventually becomes a little too comfortable, and they slip up and they say things they probably shouldn't say, or they make slips, referring to things that they think are far apart, but when you look at them all together, you realize, oh, he did know. So, Obama's not going to go to jail. So get that right out of your head. But, there would be people lining up around the block to go and, fall on their swords for him. He had a loyal following. And there are a lot of people who would just say, well, we can't let the first black president have his record marred. But it's inevitable. He was corrupt. He had problems. And covering them up makes it worse down the road. It really does. And Obama really has to worry if someday a black Republican becomes elected president, because then what is he going to do? What is he going to do if a black Republican president gets elected and says, well, this is a shameful legacy. We should investigate this. He can't cry. He can't pull the race card on that one. And the black Republican would be touted as, wow, look at this guy. He's really going after people who, were corrupt or whatever. So, for Trump to do it, it's kind of not even worth his time, really. I think what will happen is that Trump's team will put so much pressure on the people responsible that eventually somebody will fall on their sword to end the investigation, and they'll cut some sort of deal in which Flynn is totally exonerated and maybe brought back into the Trump administration, during the second term, not the first. The first is almost over, and we got to get to the election time. He's probably not going to deal with this stuff overtly until, after November. I don't know if it'll really gain him any votes to investigate it now, but we'll see. Doggy. No, Doggy. Doggy, stop. So, is ObamaGate a thing? Yeah, totally. It's not a conspiracy theory at all. They said it was a conspiracy theory when Trump said he was wiretapped. He was wiretapped. It wasn't direct, and it wasn't directed at him. So, and technically, it wasn't a wiretap. So, you could technically argue that Trump wasn't wiretapped, but functionally, he was. Functionally, they listened to the conversations of the rival parties' strategies and campaign, and it didn't matter because Trump is a populist. And when you're a populist, that kind of stuff only makes you stronger, especially when you're Trump, right? Because even now, Trump manages to position himself as the outsider all the time, right? So he's talking about ObamaGate now. Obama's been out of office for 4 years almost, and they're still talking about it. And part of that is, or a lot of it is, Obama's fault. Because, when you look at things like Fast and Furious and the IRS going after conservative groups, these were petty, stupid things for the Democrats to do. Well, Fast and Furious was just pure stupidity. Just utter, pure stupidity. But the IRS going after conservative groups, that was just petty beyond belief. It would be different if the Republicans regularly did that too. But to use the IRS, this was just ridiculous. And, the IRS is a poor choice to go after anybody with, because everybody hates the IRS. Who likes the IRS? Who's going to say, well, good, they sucked the IRS on him? Even Obama supporters go, oh man, you sucked the IRS on him? Jeez, that's kind of mean. No one likes the IRS. So, is ObamaGate a thing? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is Trump going to say boastful things about it? Yeah. But, it's a thing. And after 3.5 years of Trump, man, I wouldn't bet against him.